Dreams are not built on good days. Dreams are actually built on the bad days. And I know this might sound a bit controversial. I know this might sound a little bit weird, but out of the blue, out of the usual. But I truly wholeheartedly believe in this. And I truly think that, and I'll continue to shout this from the rooftops because it is so incredibly important to understand this young, to understand this fast, that for you to be able to create your dream life, for you to be able to get to your dreams, to get to your goals, you have to still show up for yourself, for your dreams, for your goals when you're having a bad day. Because listen, we're all human. We're all going through something, and life will hit you in the face. You're going to wake up and feel like you can conquer the world. And then you get a phone call, you read an email, you stab your toe, whatever. Stab your toe? I don't know how you call it. You hit your toe. And then your day is switched around, right? You're not having a great day. Your boyfriend doesn't respond. This date is canceled. Whatever it is, life will life. Your emotions will fluctuate. And some days are not the best days. And for you to have a sustainable building, a sustainable creation of your dream, you have to be able to show up also on the bad days, because the bad days, the good days, the medium days, the moody days, the sad days, the ecstatic days are in totality, when you add all of them together, this is what life is made of. Life is not only made of the beautiful, ecstatic, motivation-filled days. Life is all of the spectrum of all of the different emotions. And if you're unable to show up for your dreams, while you're experiencing the vast spectrum of emotions, I can tell you this right now, you're not going to be able to build your dream. You're not going to be able to reach your goal. You're not going to be able to live the life that you do want to live. That's the end of the story. I could literally end the podcast here, but I won't. But that's the end of the story. If you can't still be able to show up and stand tall and give everything you have during the days that you're not doing so well, you're not going to be able to build your dream life, your dream career, your dream relationship, whatever the hell it is that you want to create in your life, because that's, again, personal to you. And that's really important for me to talk about because, again, I told you here on this podcast, if you're new, I'm committed to helping you guys heal and grow. I'm committed to helping you reach your goals, reach your dreams. And more so than all of that, I'm really, really committed to helping you wake up every single day feeling filled with purpose, feeling like motivated to conquer the day, and having just a bit more energy and happiness within you, genuine happiness, rather than waking up and feeling like, oh, here we go again, right? I want to be like, here we go again. Like, we get to do this again. We get to be able to live this life day in and day out. That's something that I really want to transmit through this podcast. Anyways, I digressed. Anyways, let's move on to what inspired a little bit this podcast episode. For the backstory, people that are not interested in it, you can just skip around to the next timestamp. I'll put the timestamp on the screen or in the show notes for people that are listening to it on the podcast. The reason why I'm going to give you a little bit of an insider situation here. This podcast episode was not supposed to be on this, but because of the day that I've had and the week that I've had, I literally changed the topic like that. I was literally recording. I was like, right, we're not going to talk about this today. We're going to talk about something different. Wrote a few notes on my phone and now we're recording. And so what inspired this podcast episode is because I've not had the best week, right? I've not had the best week. I've not had the best day. My emotions are fluctuating a little bit. And honestly, I was like, I don't want to film this video today. I don't feel the usual well, now I do because I've started talking and we're going to talk about this in a bit, but I didn't feel the usual energy that's flowing through my body that allows me to speak so naturally, that allows me to bring this beautiful energy to you guys. And I was feeling a little bit I just don't want to do this. But that's the thing. Your emotions, sometimes you can't always just listen to your emotions. Your emotions will tell you something. Don't show up for this. Don't do this. Stay in bed and cry. Don't go see your friends. Don't sing. Don't do that. We want to stay sad. We want to stay in this constricting, annoying energy because this is what you want to do. This is what your emotions are telling you. But sometimes emotions are not to be listened. Sometimes you have to decide to act and choose to bypass that emotion and change the way that you're doing life, start acting, go outside, go for a run, start recording for your emotions to shift. We can't always wait for our emotions to shift for us to then take action, right? We can't wait, okay, I'm sad now, I'll wait till I feel happy, or I'll wait till I feel motivated to then take the action and show up for my video or show up for my work or start writing this thing, right? You can't do that. Sometimes you have to do the action first so that the emotion can shift. And this is why I'm doing this video. This week has not been the best, but I was like, it's important. I'm committed to showing up for this. I'm committed to building this dream. I'm committed to showing up for this beautiful community that I'm creating week in and week out. And it would be absurd for any one of you listening to this, any one of you watching this and seeing my crazy hand movements with this pen that I'm not even doing anything with. That's like all the insider stuff that you can see if you're watching on YouTube. It would be absurd for any one of you guys to assume that me showing up every single week with this energy and, like finding things to talk about since August. I've shown up every single week since August on this YouTube channel, on this podcast. It would be absurd for you guys to assume that my energy does not fluctuate and that every single week, every single time I show up for this podcast, I'm ecstatic and I'm super happy and I feel the best that I can, because it's not true. I'm human. And some days I just don't want to do this. Some days I'm just like, I just rather be in bed, be crying, like do something else, be outside. But again, as I told you, I'm committed. And this is why your dreams, strong foundations for your dreams, strong foundations for your goals are built on the bad days. They are built on the days where you don't want to show up. They're built on the days where you feel, I want to do everything else but this, but you still decide to show up because you know that showing up is what will allow you in the long run to reach the goal, to reach the objective that you've put for yourself, or to get to that dream, quote unquote, life that you've set out to live, right? And this is why it's so important, so incredibly important to understand that and to understand this fast. You have to still show up on the bad days. And when I say that, again, I'm talking fully from my heart right now. I'm not even looking at my notes yet. When I say that you have to show up even on the bad days, what I mean is the important thing on bad days or days where you're struggling and days where you're not doing so well, the important thing is to show up. I'm not saying show up to 100% of your energy, show up like the best self that you can be. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's important to show up. And so if one day when you're not doing so well, all you have in the tank is 50% of your energy, give that 50% and you would have given 100%. You know what I mean? So sometimes I think some of us, maybe not everyone, but we think that we should be either giving everything or giving nothing. Either I give the best of my energy, I show up in the best way that I can, my head's held high and I'm just giving the best energy that I can, or I don't show up at all because it's not authentic, it's not good enough. But what if we change that paradigm? What if we change that mindset and we assume that actually showing up every single day, you will show up slightly differently. But if you show up with the best energy that you have on that day, even if it's not a lot, but you show up with whatever is in your energy tank that day, that you would have done 100%, that you would have shown up in the best possible way that you could have on that day. And then that is enough. That is good enough. You don't have to every single day show up 100% because, again, as I told you, we're all human. Life fluctuates. We get moody, we get annoyed, we get sad, we get frustrated, we get lonely, we get angry, right? So not every single day is a beautiful day. Not every single day is a day where you're dancing and you have a pep in your step. That's not life. Life is a combination of those beautiful days, but also those more gloomy, cloudy, rainy, stormy days, all put together, all making one. That's what life is about. Life is not just the beautiful, it's not just the bad, it's the combination of all of it that makes it this beautiful journey. And so it's absurd to assume that dreams are only built on the good days, sporadically built on the good days. Again, building something, showing up for something, whatever the dream is, if you want to achieve a health goal, if you want to achieve a body goal, if you want to achieve build a community, build a business, become a doctor, surgeon, whatever it is, you have to be consistent. And I have a whole video about consistency, how to be consistent. It will be in the description, in the in the show notes, everywhere. If consistency is key for us to reach our goals, we have to be able to show up consistently. And that means showing up day in, day out. And for you to show up day in, day out, it also means that you have to show up on days where you don't want to, right? Because The days that you're going to be happy are inconsistent. The days where you're going to be unhappy are also inconsistent. And so for you to be consistent, you have to be able to show up on days where you're happy, unhappy, moody, sad, grumpy, annoyed, because that's what life is made of. So you have to be able to be consistent in the inconsistencies of your mood, because this is what a human is, right? Not everybody is always happy. No one is. Even though you think that sometimes you look on social media like, oh, why are they always happy? Why are they always doing the best? It's wrong. That's not true. This is not what life is about. Life is a lot more complex, and life is a lot more beautiful than that, and a lot more nuanced than that. So now that I've done my whole spiel, let me go back to my notes and see what I want to talk to you guys if I haven't missed anything. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you guys quickly first about the purpose when you're building your dream life, when you're trying to achieve a goal, when you're running after something that matters to you in life. The purpose of the good days. Because obviously I started this whole podcast episode saying life and your dreams are not achieved on the good days, right? They're not built on the good days. But the good days still hold a purpose. If you didn't have any good days, you probably couldn't either get to the goal, right? The good days are here to give you motivation. They're here to give you drive. They're here to inspire beautiful ideas. It's probably when you're having a beautiful, motivated day that you have this new business idea come into your mind, that you have the name for the new mastermind that you're launching, that you have the newfound motivation to continue the YouTube channel, or that you have this thing that tells you, Orlane, it's time to get back in the gym. It's time to get that body that we've always dreamed of having. Whatever it is, it's often on the good days, the beautiful days, that you have these sort of like moments that you're like, oh, this is what I want to do. And then you are able to write down in your journal every single thing that you want to do. And then all the motivation comes at you. This is the importance of the good days. It gives you the motivation. It gives you kind of the roadmap. It allows you to set out the beautiful dream. Obviously, sometimes it's when you're at the darkness, the depths of the sorrows, that you're also like, well, I'm so far down. I can't stay here. I now need to aspire for more. I need to aspire for better. And obviously then you can decide to live your dream life, lead your dream life through the fact that you've been to rock bottom and you're like, I can't be here anymore. The only way is up. And then you can define what up looks like. But a lot of the times it's through the good days that that allows you to push the momentum, inspire you to continue going, inspire you to continue on this journey, right? If you had no good days, you probably wouldn't continue this beautiful journey. If I didn't have days where my subscriber count increases, or I have beautiful comments, or I receive beautiful DMs, it would be a lot harder to sustain this beautiful journey that I'm on, right? But it's because I have those beautiful days where I get a surge of subscribers, I get beautiful comments, I have people in my DMs saying how much I can help them with what I'm doing online, or days where I have, weird amounts of such motivation, such creativity for beautiful topics that I want to talk to you guys about. It's without those days, I don't know if I would have the drive, the sustained motivation, the sustained, vision for where it is that I'm going. So the good days are important. They do serve a purpose. Everything in life serves a purpose. And I would say that that's the purpose of the good days. Giving you the direction, giving you the motivation, giving you the push that you need to continue on this journey that sometimes is hard. Continue on this journey that sometimes you feel like you're doing and doing and doing and doing and nothing is changing. Not just with YouTube. Some people are trying to lose weight and they're showing up so much and they're eating appropriately and they're going to the gym all the time, and every time they get on the weighing scale it has not moved, right? And it's only on days where they feel like, oh, they've noticed a new muscle, or they go on the weighing scale and they've lost 500 grams, or they've unlocked a beautiful new recipe that they love, they're like, you know what, this journey is I'm doing this for a reason. Or they show up to work and they have a coworker that's been away for a month and they're like, oh, you look really beautiful today. All of the stuff that you're doing, it's been working. You look radiant. It's stuff like that allows you to keep going. That allows you to be like, right, I'm doing this for a reason. So the beautiful good days serve a purpose, and we can't forget that. Again, we're on differently nuance. We're talking about at least not all, but most of the different angles that I can think of every single podcast, right? Then I do still believe though, and the sun just left. Thank you for that. But I still do believe though that the dream, the goal is built, it's sustained, it's strengthened on the bad days. And I really don't think, at least for now, that somebody can convince me otherwise. Why do I say that? It's because to build something big, to build something that really matters to you, again, whatever the dream is, whatever the goal is to you, discipline is involved. Showing up consistently is involved. And these things are hard, inherently hard things to do, inherently hard things to achieve. And one of the ways that you can show and prove to yourself that you're capable of doing hard things is showing up when you don't want to. It's showing up when you inherently in your body feel like, I do not want to be here. I do not want to be showing up today. I would like to do anything else than show up for this today, but I'm still going to. This is that slight little, questioning in your mind where you have this sort of dilemma being like, am I not going to show up today because I really don't want to? Or am I going to bypass the emotion, bypass how I feel and still choose to show up? It's in that little gray area, no man's land, that discipline, trusting yourself is built. It's every time you make the decision of like, right, I want to do everything else but this, but I'm still choosing to do the thing that I currently do not feel like doing because I am committed to the bigger picture. I'm committed to the goal. I'm committed to where it is that I'm headed. And that can only happen on bad days, right? On good days, you do want to show up. On good days, what it is that you feel in your body is aligned with what it is that you want to do. You're like, today I feel so good. Today I want to show up. Today I want to sit at this camera, sit at this desk and just talk to the camera. I have so many things to say. I feel so empowered. I feel so inspired. I have so many things to say. So that can't be the time where you build this discipline, where you build this self-trust, where you build strong foundations and strong trust in yourself that whatever life tries to throw at you, you might sway a little, but you'll still stand tall. You'll still be able to stand tall and stand strong. You won't crumble. Right? And it's in those small instances where you make the decision to show up even if you don't feel like you want to. You bypass the feeling and you go to the action, and then the feeling follows, as we've talked about earlier, that you're able to build strong foundations for the dream that you want to have, strong foundations for the goal that you want to reach. And that's why it's super important to show up. And that's why it's super important to have bad days in life. It's important to have those days and learn to still show up during those. One thing that I've noticed, especially with people that are, building businesses, doing things that maybe initially don't have a lot of monetary value. It's not a job. You're choosing to do these things. So, choosing your health and changing the way your lifestyle so that you can be healthier. So losing weight, eating better, stop smoking, stop vaping, whatever lifestyle change you're trying to make, for example, or people that are, committed to a YouTube channel, committed to building a community, or people that are committed to starting a side hustle, a business, whatever the hell it is, but not something that is your job. Something that you're choosing to do because it's attached inherently to somewhere that you want to head in life, like a dream of yours. What I've noticed sometimes with people that have these sort of things is that because it's a choice and it's something that you add to your life, it's not something that you have to do, right? For a job, if you don't feel like showing up, you kind of still have to, because if not, you're going to get fired, you're not going to have money, you probably won't be able to put food on the table. If you might, especially if you have kids and a family, when you have a job, you have certain commitments, certain things that you just be like, well, even though I don't want to show up, I kind of still have to. My boss is going to be mad if I don't show up. But when you're your own boss, when you're the ones that is choosing to do certain things for yourself, that is when sometimes that's when it's easier to break our promise. That's when it's easier to fall victim of our feelings and emotions, and listening to our emotions rather than listening to maybe more our brain and we're like having that sort of North Star of where we want to go that we've talked about already. And what I've noticed with people that have this sort of outlook on life is that sometimes when you're having a bad day, you rather not show up because you feel, at least that's something that I struggle with, that you feel that if you do show up and you don't show up with your best self, your 100% self, the one that has the most energy, the most beautiful version of yourself, all of that that you're going to lack authenticity and that you're not going to be giving your all to this thing. And so it's better to delay it. It's better to skip this week and do next week instead when you feel better. There's two problems with this. The first one is assuming that next week you'll feel better, because you might not, right? So what happens if next week you don't feel better? Do you cancel it again and then show up next week hoping that you'll feel better? But what happens if then you still don't feel better, right? So you can continue this on and on and on and on. And then the second problem is that, again, it shows to this thing of very black and white thinking. I'm either showing up in the best way that I can, or I'm not showing up at all. Where's the middle ground? Where's the nuance? Why can't we show up at 60%? Because that's all we have today, but I'm giving my all. So I'm giving my full 60%. So I'm giving my 100% of that day, right? And so sometimes if you can allow yourself to reframe this sort of mindset and allow yourself to be like, right, me showing up with the most energy that I can today is authentic. It is true to myself right now. I'm not a robot. I don't have to sell people a dream. Right? Especially if you're doing stuff where you're talking online or you're showing up online a lot or you're building this business. You don't have to always sell people a dream. You have to, I think a beautiful thing is being authentic. And I have a whole video on how to be more authentic that I filmed, I think, last week. Again, all the links will be in the description, in the and the show notes, anywhere that you want to. You'll be able to find it. But I think sometimes showing to people your humanness, allowing them to see, hey, today I'm not having the best day, but I'm still here and I'm still going to give it my all. Even though I'm not feeling the best, and I'm still going to give it my all, also inspires other people. It motivates other people to themselves be like, right, this person was able to authentically, beautifully, vulnerably say, hey, I was not doing too well today, but I'm still here, I'm still showing up, and I'm doing my best. It allows other people to also beautifully show up in their own life and be like, if this person has done it, I can do it too. And so you don't have to fake it all the time. You don't have to be like, right, today I'm not having the best day, but I'm just going to fake it like I'm having the best day today just so that people think that my life is fully together and that I'm never having a bad day. You don't have to do that. You can choose a different value for your brand. You can choose a different value for your just life. You can choose a different thing. You don't have to do things the same way that everybody else does it. And you can choose to be like, you know what? What feels good to me is to be authentic, it's to be true, and to be like, hey, I'm not doing too well today, but I'm still here. And that, I can guarantee, allows you to connect with people so much better, because every single person is a human. We all go through very similar things, but social media brings distance. It makes us feel a lot of the times othered. Oh, this person has it all figured out. They're always happy. Their relationship is, oh my God, I hurt myself. Their relationship is perfect. Everything is beautiful, but it's not always like that. And you don't have to choose to prescribe to that. You can choose to be like, right, I'm going to be a bit different. I want to show the truth of it. Obviously, you can keep your boundaries. You don't have to spill your whole life and say, this is what was happening. But you can choose to be you. You can choose to show up in the way that you want to show up. And that's basically the crux of the matter that I wanted to share right now. And then the last thing that I want to say is, obviously right now I've been preaching a lot. Maybe preaching is the wrong word. Maybe it is the right word. Anyways, I'm going to continue with preaching. I've been preaching a lot about how it's important to still show up on bad days. Still give your all on bad days. But again, nuance. Some days, the best response is rest. The best response is, hey, I need to prioritize myself. I need to recuperate. I need to rest. I need to regroup so that I can sustainably continue to show up in the future. Because if I show up right now and continue to do that without having processed what just happened to me, I will burn out and I will not be able to sustainably get to my dream. Again, the whole goal of this is to get to your dream sustainably. You don't want to get there and be like freaking having a heart attack and freaking cardio and be 2 steps away from collapsing. You want to be able to get there and stand tall and be like, I've done this, be proud, be a little bit tired, but not be on the verge of a syncope. You know what I mean? On the verge of passing out. And so again, it's important for you guys to know yourselves and to know when your feelings are just procrastinating, telling you, oh, we can do this tomorrow, telling you, oh, we're not feeling too good, let's just do this another time. Oh, I'm a little bit sad, I'm a little bit angry, let's just sit and fester in these feelings, when you should be able to shake yourself, knock some sense into you, and still show up with the energy that you have that day. and discern that sort of scenario from a scenario where you do need to rest, where you do need to switch everything off, switch the laptop, switch the camera, switch everything off, and just give yourself that time to breathe, to recuperate, and to make sense of what's just happened in your life. Again, we want to get to that place in a sustainable way. And for example, for me, there was no way that I would have been able to revive this YouTube channel and start this whole podcast if I hadn't taken the time to fully recuperate, fully make sense of what happened to me last year when I was going through the breakup. There was no way that I could have done that. I had to take a step back, recuperate, rest, digest whatever had happened. I knew that was an important thing before I could step back on the gas pedal and continue driving this car. I had to rest, park it for a bit before I could start to drive it again. And that's a really important thing that is important to mention in this as well at the end of the video. You have to be able to discern between, is this something that I just need to knock some sense into myself and just show up for me? Or if this is something where I'm like, right, I need to take a break from this, right? And obviously, if there's been somebody that passed away in your family, if you've just gone through a life-altering breakup, if you're going through a divorce, if just insert anything that is huge that can happen in your life, obviously that will demand a very different reaction, a very different set of tools, a very different response to, oh, I had a fight with my partner, or I didn't get the grade that I wanted, or I'm just feeling a bit off today, or I'm a little moody today, or my mom had a little bit of a fight with my mom, or I'm feeling impatient today. You know what I mean? There is a huge, vast, deep ocean between these two sets of emotions. And one of them, you have to be able to park that emotion, still show up with the energy that you do have for your dream and do the work. And on the other one, you have to be able to be like, right, I know that this thing is a priority for me to show up for this dream, but right now the bigger priority is to take care of me, is to take care of my health, take care of my mental health, take care of my mind, heal myself, take care of that so that I then still have the resources and the energy later on to show up for this dream. So again, a lot of it is still in the service of the dream, of the goal, right? It's just which way you get to the destination. Which way you get to the destination. So I think I've spilled everything that I wanted to talk about today. I feel a lot more energized. Told you, sometimes you have to take the action before your feelings change. And my feelings have changed, but it was not this way when I first started filming a couple hours ago, especially the sun kept coming in and out. It's a little bit frustrating, I'll tell you that, but I feel a lot better. And I hope that through this podcast episode, through this video, you were able to find what it was that you were looking for. I hope that you were able to get the motivation you needed, make sense of a few different things, and understand that building your dream career, your dream body, your dream lifestyle, your dream business, whatever it is, takes time. It takes a lot of work, it takes grit, it takes showing up consistently on the bad days and on the good days. And it's oftentimes through the bad days and showing up through those that you're able to build something great and something beautiful. And I just wanted to say how much I love our community, how much I love what we've built together. I'm getting chills all over my body, but I really, really love what it is that I've built. And I really love our community, and I hope that through the videos that I'm able to do and the podcast episodes that I'm able to share with you guys, that there's something there that actually touches you and that you're able to bring on into your own life that helps you, in your own life and helps you improve it in any way. That would be my greatest honor, my greatest pleasure, and I'd be so freaking grateful if that happened. So yeah, I'm feeling so emotional today. But if you did enjoy this video, I hope that you can subscribe to my channel, like this video, share this video with other people that could benefit from it as well. Because as I always say, I'm trying to build a beautiful community here, and it's starting to work. But I can't do this alone. I really can't. I do my part of the work, which is finding interesting topics, showing up every single week consistently for you guys. But I also kind of need your help. So if you have anybody in your life that you could share this with that you think would benefit from it as well, please do share it their way. It would mean a lot to me. And for the people that are listening in on the podcast, thank you so much. I honestly think that sometimes you guys are living the best life. Why? Because I move around a lot. I am very expressive. My hands can sometimes be distracting. I'm always holding something for some random reason. So I feel like the people that are listening to this on the podcast can have a more focused view of the topic, and they don't have to be distracted by my hand movements. But again, thank you so much for listening in. I really appreciated it. If you could subscribe to the podcast, leave a review if you want to, and rate it. Again, it would mean the world to me. I would be super, super grateful if you'll share the podcast, repost it on your stories, whatever it is that you want to do. I would be so grateful for that. And yeah, I'm going to head out. If you have, again, any questions, anything that you want to share with me, my DMs are always open on Instagram at differentlymois. My email address is always open, differentlymois@gmail.com. And what else? And again, the comment section is also open. I monitor it every single day, mostly respond when I can. So yeah, I really, really appreciate all of you guys, and I hope that you're having a beautiful day wherever it is that you are. And if you're not, because you're going through life and you're being a human and life is not great right now, I hope that you can find a way to end your day in a slightly better way than it did start. So yeah, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye guys.